Was she possessed? The Oracle of Delphi was the most famous prophetess of the ancient world. Kings and entire empires would go to see her to get advice from the god Apollo. So what exactly did she do? How did she deliver these prophetic messages? And was she really possessed by the gods? Let's find out. Welcome to my channel. The Oracle of Delphi, also known as the Pythia, is one of the most intriguing figures in ancient history. Her mysterious prophecies are said to have influenced some of the most important events in the ancient world, from the rise of Alexander the Great to the founding of colonies in distant lands. But what made her so special? And how did she gain the attention of the ancient Greeks? To understand the Oracle of Delphi, we must first look at the location where she delivered her prophecies. The Oracle of Delphi didn't operate in a temple or a sacred grove, but rather above a deep chasm that opened up into the earth itself. This cavern was located at the base of Mount Parnassus, which was home to the god Apollo. As you can imagine, the Greeks believed this place to be incredibly sacred, and they were right. There was something about this place that caused anyone who stepped foot inside to experience a profound sense of awe and wonder. But it wasn't just the surroundings that made the Oracle of Delphi so special. It was also the mysterious vapors that rose from the chasm. These vapors were said to have a strange effect on the human mind, causing those who inhaled them to enter into a trance-like state. In this state, the vapors were believed to carry messages from the gods themselves, and the Oracle of Delphi was the only one who could hear them. The Oracle of Delphi was not always a woman. Initially, the position was filled by a man named Tiresias, but after him, women took over the role. The process of selecting the oracle was quite intense, and only the purest of women could be chosen for the role. They had to be virgins and undergo a series of purification rituals before they could even begin their training. Once selected, the oracle would spend years in training, learning how to control her breathing and body in order to properly receive the messages from the gods. When she was ready, she would sit on top of the chasm and inhale the mysterious vapors. The oracle's messages were never clear or direct. Instead, she would speak in riddles and cryptic phrases that were often difficult to understand. Because of this, there were always male priests present who would help interpret the meaning of her words. Some ancient sources claim that the oracle sometimes spoke in tongues or made wild utterances that were impossible to comprehend. But in other cases, she would deliver her prophecies in perfectly clear Greek. In fact, the ancient Greeks took her prophecies so seriously that they traveled from all over the known world to hear what she had to say. The most famous example of this is the story of King Croesus of Lydia. One day, Croesus went to the oracle to ask if he should go to war against the Persians. The oracle replied with a riddle: "If you go, you will lose your city." Croesus was confused by the oracle's response, so he decided to wait a year before asking his question again. The following year, he asked the same question, and the oracle gave the same answer. Croesus decided to take the oracle's warning to heart and avoided war with the Persians. However, when the Lydians were eventually conquered, it became clear that the oracle's prophecy had come true. Despite her cryptic messages, the Oracle of Delphi was able to influence some of the most important events in ancient Greek history. She is said to have advised the Spartans on whether or not to go to war with the Argonauts, and her prophecies are thought to have played a major role in the colonization of the Greek world. She is also credited with helping to write laws for city-states, and even assisted in the building of temples. So, how did the Oracle of Delphi become so influential? The answer lies in the power of suggestion. When someone goes to the oracle for advice, they already believe that she has special powers. Therefore, anything she says is likely to be taken as truth. This belief was further reinforced by the fact that the oracle was rarely wrong. If she did make a mistake, it was usually because the person who came to her for advice did not understand her message correctly. As the oracle's fame grew, so did the number of people who wanted to consult her. At the height of her popularity, thousands of people would travel to Delphi every year to hear her prophecies. For the oracle, this meant that she could use her position to gain great wealth and power. In fact, it was said that the Oracle of Delphi was so wealthy that she didn't have to worry about money for the rest of her life. But not everyone was happy with the oracle's success. As she became more popular, the quality of her prophecies began to suffer. Some scholars believe that the reason for this was that the vapors coming from the chasm were not as strong as they once were. This would explain why the oracle began to rely more on the power of suggestion rather than actual divine inspiration. Others believe that the oracle was simply getting lazy, or that she was being influenced by the priests who were always around her. Whatever the reason, the decline of the Oracle of Delphi was inevitable. As the Roman Empire grew in power, the Greek city-states became less important, and the oracle's influence waned. Eventually, the Romans took over Greece, and the Oracle of Delphi became nothing more than a relic of the past. So what happened to the Oracle of Delphi? The exact fate of the oracle is unknown, but it's likely that she died a natural death. After all, she was just a human being like the rest of us. However, there are some legends that suggest that she was killed by the Romans. According to one account, the Romans put the oracle to death because she had predicted the downfall of the Roman Empire. Whether or not this is true is impossible to say, but it makes for an interesting story nonetheless. Today, the ruins of the Temple of Apollo stand as a reminder of the oracle's former glory. Visitors to the site can still feel the presence of the oracle as they walk among the ancient stones. And though we may never know the truth about what happened here all those years ago, we can still be amazed by the power of the Oracle of Delphi. When it comes to the Oracle of Delphi, it is hard to separate facts from fiction. Much of what we know about her comes from ancient sources that were written many centuries after she lived. As a result, it is difficult to know what is true and what is legend. What we do know is that the Oracle of Delphi was a powerful figure in ancient Greek religion. Her prophecies were highly sought after, and she was able to influence some of the most important events in the ancient world. But what is perhaps most fascinating about the Oracle of Delphi is the mystery that surrounds her. We may never know for sure whether she was truly possessed by the gods, but the stories and legends that have survived to this day are a testament to the power of the human mind. Modern scientists have conducted tests to try to determine what caused the Oracle of Delphi's trance-like state. They have discovered that the region is rich in ethylene gas, which is known to cause hallucinations. It is possible that the Oracle of Delphi was under the influence of this gas when she delivered her prophecies. However, there are other factors that may have contributed to her altered state. Some scholars believe that the oracle's trances were actually caused by a combination of natural and psychological factors. For example, the fumes from the chasm may have triggered a psychosomatic response in the oracle, causing her to experience visions and have auditory hallucinations. Additionally, the intense rituals and years of training that the oracle underwent may have also played a role in her trances. By focusing her mind and body through intense meditation and breathing exercises, the oracle may have been able to access a state of heightened awareness that allowed her to receive divine inspiration. Ultimately, the true nature of the Oracle of Delphi's trances remains unknown. It is possible that she was truly possessed by the god Apollo, as the ancient Greeks believed, or her prophecies may have been the result of a combination of natural and psychological factors. However, one thing is certain: the Oracle of Delphi remains one of the most enigmatic figures in ancient history, and her legacy continues to fascinate people today. Her story raises questions about the nature of prophecy, the power of suggestion, and the limits of human understanding. Whether she was a mouthpiece for the gods or a master of psychological manipulation, the Oracle of Delphi's impact on the ancient world was undeniable. What do you think? Was the Oracle of Delphi truly possessed by the gods, or was she simply a master of psychological manipulation? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos on ancient history. Thanks for watching.